Hello? Mr. 911? Someone's trying to kill my friend Fortnite. He's got a battle royale and... Oh, it's just Call of Duty. Don't worry about it. No, it's dumb. Nobody cares about Call of Duty anymore. Yeah, no. What are you wearing? Ooh. Hold on. Let me play this intro before it gets a little too spicy. Hey people, what's up? I'm Wigwam. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my Fallout hoodie. It's fall. Let's talk about Fortnite. None of those things were related. That's a transition for you. So a lot of you know that I've played about 1 billion hours of Fortnite, and that's no secret. It's pretty much killed all of my productive time, but I'm back from that addiction, and I'm gonna make a video out of it so I can pretend like it was productive. So let's talk about, will Fortnite ever die? Because if you go on the forums or the subreddit, all you'll hear is, oh my god! Fortnite's dying. Epic Games kill Fortnite. Nah, 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 nah. Is it dying though? Well, everything dies. I mean, I hope I'm not the first one to break it to you. That was probably a little rough drop of knowledge on you if you weren't aware of that. But you know, just everybody, your grandma, your dog, Fortnite, they're all gonna die eventually. But what is the lifespan gonna be on this? Fortnite seems to be going strong, healthy. It's the greatest game sensation, arguably, ever. What could possibly stop such a juggernaut? People thought maybe Call of Duty Black Ops could, but you know, common sense probably would have told us otherwise. Why couldn't Call of Duty have stopped it? I mean, it's got experience under its belt. Did you know Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or Call of Duty 15, or if you count all the side entrants, and I'm not shitting you, you can look this fact up, Call of Duty 40, the big 4-0, yeah, finally introduces a Battle Royale mode. Why can't it stop Fortnite though? Well, mostly because it's not free, it's not accessible. Fortnite's on almost as many consoles as Skyrim is, and that's fucking absurd. I give it like another 6 months and we'll have a retro version of Fortnite for the Super Nintendo. And Call of Duty Black Ops 4 definitely has its niche. People are gonna like that game. It came out, it's doing okay, probably good by Call of Duty standards over the last few years, but the fact that it has such a higher barrier of entry is gonna inherently limited. The only chance they could ever have had would have been if they made that Battle Royale mode totally free out of the gate. And would that have even been a profitable idea for them? Could Call of Duty even possibly push and sell cosmetics in the way that Fortnite could? Probably not. Honestly, that's just not the business model that they've come up with, and the business model they have come up with is terrible and keeps people like me from wanting to give their games a shot. $130 for the Ultimate Edition? Fuck yourself, Activision. No. So if games like Realm Royale and Darwin Project couldn't kill Fortnite, no big surprise. Juggernauts like Call of Duty can't kill Fortnite. It's a little surprising, not very though. What could kill Fortnite? Epic Games. And I know people say that and it seems like a joke and you see it all over the internet, but there is a grain of truth there. And let me tell you about a little game called Paragon. Paragon was a MOBA game designed by Epic Games to be different and new and to play more like Unreal Tournament more than your classic traditional MOBAs, hoping to capture an audience of people that have never really been interested in MOBAs. People like me who prefer shooters and possibly more aiming and shooting action-paced games than a MOBA experience could probably deliver for us. Paragon originally cost money to buy and was released in early access. It was being worked on. It cost like $20 for the base game, but you could buy expanded editions and founders editions for upwards of $100 with added digital bonus content. I hate that phrase, by the way. It is such a fucking scam, but that's a video for another time. So eventually Paragon went free to play after an acquisition by Tencent Games where they purchased about 49%, I forget the exact number, but a controlling stock in Epic Games. Who's Tencent Games? Well, they're the company that helps own League of Legends. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Well, in the case of Fortnite, it's honestly been a great thing for the company and the people. Most of us wouldn't have even played or enjoyed Fortnite if it wasn't initially free to play. So they do that to Paragon, right? People are meh. Some people probably upset. Nobody likes to pay for a game that then is later brought for free, but there's no huge backlash from this change, and if anything, it initially seems like a positive. And then the changes start rolling out. You see, Epic Games loves to keep tweaking and changing, which is fair because the game was in beta and it was in early access, and that's what it's there for. Your hope is that when you start playing a game in early access, 6 months from now you'll have an even better game that's brought to you by community feedback and relationships with the developers and their community, and it comes together. It's beautiful. Except for when the company is more focused on drawing in new players rather than retaining the players they already have. And that's what happened to Paragon. See, Paragon was a game that had a few issues with its very style of gameplay. Paragon had a large map, alright? It had one large map that people had to traverse, and in order to counteract how large the map was, Epic's initial idea was to create two movement speeds, one for combat and another one that you could activate when traversing the map. The problem with his mobility options was that people not only used it to get around the map, but they abused it in order to get out of fights they were going to lose, resulting in both unsatisfying combat and just generally shitty neutral combat game. Losing a fight? Why keep engaging when you could just run away? Definitely doesn't sound like anything in FORTNITE, huh? Doesn't sound like a glider redeploy mechanic, right? Right? You seeing where I'm going with this? So what does Epic do to combat this? They know it's not working, they know they've got an issue, they want the game to be more accessible. They do an update that reworks the map to be 30% smaller, but at the same time, they overcompensate by upgrading the movement speed in the game. What does this result in? A map that's not only smaller, but feels smaller because the movement has been impacted as well. They've changed too many variables at once, all while promising more exciting combat, better interactions, more interactions. But what you really get is a dumber, shittier system. A system that's easier for people to get into initially, which could be good, but a system that lowers the skill gap. And then here comes the real killer. They used to have a card system where you could assign various different cards into 6 slots to create a custom build. This is where a lot of the skill came into the game. People that played Paragon were perfecting and tweaking these upgrades, these sets of cards that they could attach to their specific hero to create something that was really customized to them and the way they wanted to play, which was awesome. But Epic thought that was too hard for people to learn, and instead of finding ways to make it easier to learn the existing system, they trash the existing system and they replace it with a 3-card, more basic system. They add in more auto functions, they just dumb everything way down. And whether this was a good idea or a bad idea, it was too late in the game's development to be trying to push these kind of changes. They lowered the skill gap drastically, and the people who worked to be at the top of the skill gap left. Because why would they stay? Why would they stay in a game that they had spent maybe hundreds of hours getting good at, only to lose to new players because Epic Games feels like everybody should get a chance to win? And when it doesn't take much skill to be good at the game or get kills, there's no motivation to keep playing. So what you end up with is you get new players, but you get no retention. Even Epic Games admitted that the biggest problem with Paragon when it was shut down was that they were having issues retaining new players. So all their tweaks, all their focuses on changing every aspect of gameplay to get in new players ended up being their absolute undoing because there was no reason for these players to keep playing. So how does this relate to FORTNITE? Well, apart from the obvious fucking ways, pay attention people, keep up with the video. The thing that really inspired me to do this video was not even the recent FORTNITE zombie update, which is gone and temporary. That was fine. I didn't personally approve of taking what was essentially a limited time specialty game mode and completely getting rid of the base gameplay and replacing it with the specialty mode, but whatever. It's a temporary change. I could have survived. What I couldn't stand was the glider redeploy mechanic, because it made fights so much easier to run away from, and at the same time it made it so much easier to third-party people. It created this level where if you're losing a fight, you could run away, and if you're not good at winning fights, you can wait for a fight to end, and with no repercussions or specialty items at all, you could be right there in that fight, taking advantage of someone who's at a disadvantage every single time. You know, it's great that Epic is a company that listens to players, that they engage with their community, but ultimately at the end of the day, the #1 factor they have in making changes is making it more accessible to new players. And this especially doesn't make sense to me on FORTNITE, a game that is so prevalent in everybody's life, whether you want it to be or not. Everybody talks about it, you see it on the news, you saw 1,000 trick-or-treaters probably came to your door in FORTNITE costumes. What new audience are they trying to reach out to? They already had the most popular game on the market. Games like FORTNITE, who are free to play, make their money off of people who play the game consistently and have disposable income and are willing to spend far above what would be the average retail price of a game in cosmetics. People like me, honestly, I've spent a lot of cosmetic money in FORTNITE and I was happy to, because I was having so much fun playing the game. But when you alienate people like me, the people who make your money, the people who have spent a lot of the time trying to get good at the game, then you've ruined your source of income. And I'm so glad that they have, in the beginning at least, tried to make the game better, but now they've tried to make the game easier. And that is a dangerous, dangerous thing. The parallels between Paragon and FORTNITE are becoming frighteningly more obvious by the day, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you like the recent changes in FORTNITE? Do you think that they're good, or do you think that Epic is on their way to a second Paragon, just on a much larger scale? It's undeniable that no matter what they do, FORTNITE will still be going strong for at least probably a couple more months or a year or more. But the question comes down to is, have they taken a game that could have existed for 5 years and shortened its lifespan with its constant over tweaking and changes to the meta that are unnecessary and unasked for? But hey, let me know down below in the comments, as well as this is your first time here on my channel, consider leaving it a subscription. Also, leave it a like. You know, you've probably been on YouTube before. I don't know why you need me to explain this to you again. Is this your first time on YouTube? Welcome. This channel's the best channel. Don't feel the need to go to any other channels. Just take my word for it. This one is the best one. You know, there's related videos over here. Make sure you click on the ones with my face. Alright, I'm gonna leave and assume that you're gonna stay on this channel forever. Alright, I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.